7:46. There is a new study. Parents, listen up. Smartphones might equal sleep trouble for your kids. Here with more, Dr. Chaffoo. Doctor, good morning. Always good to see you.
Good morning, Shally. Great to see you too.
All right, let's be real. We're in a day and age, a lot of times we say we're not going to be that parent that gives the phone to the kids all the time, but a lot of us do it just to keep them quiet, get them ready to go to sleep. How is this little phone changing the way kids sleep?
Well, you know, it's interesting, Shally. The study was a compilation of about 20 studies, and it looked at 125,000 children in Australia, the United States, and Europe. And there was some very compelling evidence that the use of smartphone and tablet devices, even in the bedroom during bedtime, was associated with significant sleep disturbances. Everything from actually inadequate amount of sleep to poor sleep quality to daytime sleepiness. And basically, although there was not a real cause and effect relationship, certainly the study showed some compelling evidence, and the average age for these kids was 14 years of age, which of course is my teenage girl's age, my twins. So it's a study that basically looks at what causes sleep problems associated with these smartphones or these tablets, Shally, and what we found are several factors. Number one, if kids are using these smartphone devices or tablets right before they go to bed, several things are happening. One thing is that they're actually probably delaying the time that they're supposed to go to bed because that device is so engaging. Also, the fact that this device has a light, a very bright light, which, as we know, can fool our circadian rhythm of our wakefulness and sleepfulness. If there's a bright light, then the body will stimulate cortisol, which stimulates the brain and makes you more awake. And plus, if you're actually using a device 30 minutes before you go to bed, researchers have definitively shown that the brain is too awake and it's hard to fall asleep. And the last factor, unfortunately, is, you know, a lot of the kids, including my kids, oftentimes will leave their phone on the bedside stand at night and charge it. And there are alerts that will go off and may wake the child up, reduce the REM, rapid eye movement, or the dream sleep that's responsible for sleeping well. And in the worst case scenario, the kid will actually get up and play with the phone or text or look at the message.
That's kind of like what we go through. I mean, I go through the same exact thing with the alerts, and then you look at the phone, there's so much to do. Is there an age, doctor, where it's appropriate to give kids the phone? And then how do you get around that in a day and age that almost every kid, I think I saw like a 5-year-old with their own phone the other day?
Bit too much. I mean, the American Academy of Pediatrics has actually come out with a policy statement stating that if we're going to give, you know, younger children any kind of a tablet-like device, we should limit it to about 1 hour a day, and it should be filled with, you know, useful programming. But you're right, the idea of giving a smartphone or a tablet to a very young child is a problem. And remember that, you know, children need about 10 hours of sleep a night, and certainly adolescents need at least 9 hours of sleep a night. And so the best thing I think parents can do is for all of us to become involved. The study showed that if these devices were even in the same room, it was associated with sleep problems. We know that there are physiological effects to sleep deprivation from diabetes, you know, type 2 diabetes, for obesity, problems with mental health issues, problems with the immunity system, you know, fighting colds and such. So the important thing, the study's conclusions were that really these devices around bedtime need to be put in another room.
Right.
Put on, you know, on a silent mode, and not use a device like this for at least 30 minutes prior to sleep, and then monitor your kids during the daytime. If they're, you know, their teachers are noticing that they're really sleepy, or you see that they're awfully sleepy or irritable, it's time to really look more carefully at what's going on and what is that association between your kid overusing one of these devices.
Really good advice, Dr. Chaffoo. In my house, if this helps with anyone, I just make it quiet time the last hour before everybody goes to sleep. I collect all phones, all iPads, everything. Everything goes off.
Excellent.
And then everybody goes.
You're the phone police. That's perfect.
I'm a lot of police. That's what my husband calls me. He says, you're the police of this, you're the police of that. Dr. Chaffoo, always good to see you.
Good
Thank
to see you, Shally.
7:51.